Good morning, good morning, good morning to another live. Hopefully you guys have had a good weekend so far. Hopefully the weather was decent where you were yesterday. I was in Chelmsford playing football. It was nice and sunny down there. When I got back to Luton, it was pouring down with rain. So hopefully you had a good dry weekend wherever you guys were. Hopefully you had a good week. And you are at a live where we do a 20-question mock test, discuss hazard perception. I'm going to turn this TV down because I can hear it in the background. And answer any questions that you guys may have about your theory test, driving test, what's your next steps. So if you've got any questions, please type it in the chat, put a Q semicolon, and I will see it. Otherwise, it just looks like a comment, so I may not see it. So let me get my windows up so I can see what's going on. I'll put this here. And that's there. Let me put my phone on silent. I should be used to this by now, otherwise it's going to start going off like crazy. Right, so no interruptions from that. Right, so let's see who's here. Jadola, I hope I'm saying that right. Good morning. Not seen your name before, so welcome to you. Good morning. Good morning, Samson. Not seen your name before. DWD, not seen your name before, so welcome to you guys. Welcome to all you newcomers. If you are new, just announce yourself. Let me come out of this scene and go with this one. Makes life a lot better. Yeah, announce yourself. If you're new here, let me know that you are new. Let me know what part of your journey you're on in terms of studying, just starting, taking a test, failed the test, or passed it. I just want to keep up to date with stuff. Francisco, good morning. Titi, Lala, yo, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Got a comment here. Failed it. It's not a good start to the live. All right. Let's take a look and break this down. 42 out of 50. So you got 8 questions wrong. 50 out of 75. So hazard perception's fine. I prepared so well. Actually, I didn't see myself failing it. It happens. That's just the way it goes. You can prepare as much as you like, but it's a little bit of a luck on the day. The way it goes, nerves does change things, makes you second guess yourself. But you got 42, so you got 8 questions wrong. I would suggest with 8 questions wrong, it's going to be at least 5 categories that you got the questions wrong in, which is about a third. So what I would do with the paperwork they gave you, go through the paperwork, look at the categories that you got the questions wrong in, and then restudy those categories. Take mock tests to make sure those categories do not come up again as weaknesses, and then book another one. And I wish you luck with the second time round or the next time round. I don't know if it is your second time. If you've got any questions that you could remember from the theory test, put it in the chat and let me clear it up just in case, because obviously you got 8 questions wrong. So there's got to be a doubt about something. So if you can remember any questions roughly, type it in the chat and let me clear it up just in case you get it next time out. Greetings on this platform. Oh, well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. And greetings to everyone else. Love the love going out. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Unable to get the concept on the brakes and accelerator stuff. If you can give me some more context behind that, I'm not sure. Brakes for slowing down, accelerator for going. So you need to give me a little bit more context so I can help you out so you can understand it. Welcome. Temp, I've not seen your name before, but it just came back. So thank you. I passed my theory test on Monday, got 0 in 2 hazards. Wow. But remember what you said on never giving up, and even if you get a 0, 2 zeros and you still passed it, well done to you. Congrats. If you're still here, let me know what your next steps are, whether it's going to be driving lessons or driving test. Morning, Maurice. Morning. Not seen your name before, so welcome to you. Samuel, welcome. Right. You're new here, so welcome. Let me know what your next steps are. Not next steps. What are you doing? Have you just started studying? Have you taken a test? Are you ready to take a test? Have you got one booked? Let me know your journey. Simply Me, you're here from the beginning. Well done to you, first of all, and welcome. Hopefully you are well. I can't remember if it was Thursday gone about your funeral. Did that go well for you? If it was, be welcome. I had to change your date to May the 6th. Wow, that's a long way away. April next week, give or take. I know it's not that far away when you think about it. April next week. Well, you got more time to study, that's for sure. Got more lives to attend. Again, this is for all of you. If you guys got any questions while you are studying, any concerns, jot them down during your week of studying, bring it to the live, let me answer it. You guys don't lean on me enough when it comes to that. As much as you're studying at home alone, bring it to the lives, let me help you out. Michelle, pass my theory. Well done to you for passing. I don't know about that bit, the handsome man bit, but yeah. Congratulations on passing. Thank you for coming and let me know how you got on. And let me know what your next steps are, driving lessons or driving tests. I want to know that you guys are going to follow it through. You'd be surprised how many people pass their theory test. 2 years lapses, they haven't passed their driving test, they've got to retake it. See it through. If you're taking a theory test and you pass it, see it through. Get that license. Fred passed his theory test 44 and 63. 63 high and has perception. Booking to start my driving lesson. Oh, next week. Oh, hopefully that goes well for you. You must be looking forward to the driving lessons. The first couple are always scary, especially if you've got no driving experience, but hopefully you've got a decent instructor that's going to make you stay calm overall. Michelle got 45 and 50. All right, let me do a breakdown. Abdullah, good morning, new to this program. It's just a live where we go for a 20-question mock test, breaking it down. Any question that you may have, I'll answer it. As we go through the questions, if there's any tricky questions, I'll show you how to work it out and give you hints, tips, and tricks along the way. That's basically the format. But if you do have a question, please put a Q, semicolon. It makes it a lot easier for me to see it. Otherwise, it just looks like a comment. My friend and I, so there's 2 of you passed the theory test yesterday. Oh, Saturday. Well done for both of you for passing. That's massive. 47 out of 50 and 55. Oh, 55, I thought I read that wrong. 55 out of 75 and has perception scores 0 in 2 clips due to detection system, which means you either click too many times or you clicked in a rhythmic fashion where they think it's almost like spamming, but still got 2 zeros and still passed it. As I said, it's all about averaging at 3 or more at the end of the 14th video. But let me explain that just in case you guys don't know, because especially for those of you that are new here. And let me get rid of this. Just in case you didn't know, it's multiple choice. Okay, I never seen that people know because they just hear about the theory test. They haven't started the journey on the theory test. So it's multiple choice. It's 50 questions. The questions are made up of 14 different categories, just in case you didn't know. There are 14 different categories on the theory test. And that's the reason why I said if you have used to the channel, watch my videos. That's why I said always study the questions and the categories rather than just doing mock test after mock test. And they would take the 50 questions, any 50 questions from the 14 categories. I will also add, you guys are still saying it, when you go into the test and come out, the questions were different. I've never seen questions before. The app questions on any app that you use, I do recommend Driving Test Success because it's the one that I use with my students and it's the one I get most success with. I'm not saying others are bad, it's just I recommend what I use. So some of you are still going into the real test thinking the questions on the app is the same. It's not. The app questions are sampled questions. They're not the real questions. I'm going to say it again. They're sampled questions. They're not the real questions. When you go into the real test, it's going to be a worded version of what you had on the app. And there may be questions that you have never seen on the app. The reason being is about 700 and on average is about 770 odd questions on the app. When you go for the real test, they got a database between 1,200 and 1,500 questions, which means there's going to be at least 400 or 500 questions that you have never ever come across on the app, but they all still lead to safety. That's what you're looking for when you come to that, and I'll come to that in a second. So 50 questions, you need 43 to pass out of the 50, and you've got 57 minutes to do that in. If you studied enough, you never use 57 minutes, but if you have to use it to pass, then take it. There's no shame or embarrassment in being there for 57 minutes to make sure you get a pass on the question side. I will also add, if there's 10 of you in the room, it's 10 different tests. They're random questions, just pulled out of a hat if you like. So if there's 10 of you in the room, it's 10 different tests. That's the reason why your knowledge needs to be strong across all categories, because you don't know how your categories or your test is going to be made up. Once you've done that, you move on to the hazard perception, which I will do a demonstration at the end of this live. It's 14 videos, 13 of them have single hazards, one of them's got a double, 2 5s. You need 44 minimum to pass, average 3 across the board when you finish. As you've seen from the comments, some of them have got 2 zeros and still pass. Some of them have got 1 0 still pass. It doesn't really matter if you get a zeros on your video clips, as long as you're averaging more than 3 at the end of it all. And then what you're looking for in terms of answers, you're looking for safety. Your driving test is based on safety and control. That's what the examiner looks for. Safety, control, in terms of the outcome of any given situation. It's broken down in more multiple categories than that, but I'll show you that again later on. But the basic stuff the examiner is looking for is safety control, which means the theory test is based on safety and control. The theory test is black and white. There is no unsafe answer. There's never going to be an unsafe answer. They're never going to put you in a dangerous situation. It's always going to be in a safe situation, which means it's always going to lead to a safe outcome or a controlled outcome, which is normally your motorway questions and your first aid. So that's the breakdown of the theory test. And like I said, that's what you are looking for in terms of answers. So let me just catch up with you guys in the chat. Fred, thank you for breaking your silence and saying the words you were saying. I'm hoping that led you to a pass, because it said your teachings are exceptional on the hazard perception, especially on the hazard perception, really helps me. So I'm hoping you're saying that you've passed. If not, it's definitely helping with the studying, and hopefully that helps you to pass moving forwards. I've been waiting for my provisional since the 21st. I'm assuming you mean 21st of last month, because 21st was just 2 days ago. If it's 21st of last month, that would have been February. 21st was 2 days ago. That's 4 weeks. They normally quote 21 to 28 days. I would say if you don't get it this week, as in the end, by the end of March, I would give them a bell and find out where that is. I've had a couple of emails saying the same thing, to be fair, so I'm assuming it's a backlog. But I would, if you don't get it by the end of this week, as in Friday, I would definitely give them a ring the following Monday to find out where that is, because they normally quote 21 to 28 days if it's your provisional. Oh, sorry. I just seen the 21st. Yeah, I'll definitely give them a ring at the end of the week. I'll be honest, if you don't get it by Friday, I'll give them, don't wait till April. Give them a ring on Friday. If you don't get it by Friday, give them a ring, because 21 to 21 is 4 weeks. That's about 28 days. Yeah. So give them a few days extra. If you don't get it by Friday morning or whenever your post comes, give them a bell. I believe they close about 4 o'clock. Yeah, I failed the road signs for most, but it's always been a weak category for me, so it's not surprising, to be honest. Yeah, it's my first time and I was doing so well with mock tests on the app. Right, first and foremost, breaking this down, and this is for everyone. I did this with my students, and I'll tell you why, because I work on mindset. The theory tests is as much as it's about answering questions for you guys, it's also having the right mindset when you go in. I'll break this down for you, because I don't know you, so I'm breaking it down. It says, yeah, I failed the road signs for most, but it's always been a weak category for me, so it's not surprising, to be honest. Yeah, it was my first time I was doing so well with mock tests on the app. That suggests that you saying that you failed on road signs. There's nowhere on earth that you got 8 road signs on your your ferry test, which means you got other questions wrong. It may be road sign questions, but it's other questions as well. So I wouldn't just turn around and blame it on road signs. That's the first thing. You said you're doing so well on mock tests. That's just the way it goes. Like I said, on the mock test, you can be getting 50 out of 50. It doesn't mean to say you're going to pass a real test, because the real test is worded differently and they have different set of questions. The question you'd have to ask yourself, what I would ask you if you was my student, as much as you're doing well on the mock test, did you understand the questions and answers? Because that's the biggest thing. A lot of people think they're passing 48, 49s on the mock test. But all it does when you do a lot of mock tests, a lot of questions on the app, you take it to memory. It's not intentional, but you start to memorize the answers, because you recognize the questions. The difference is if you understand the question and you understand the answer, when you go for the real test and it's worded differently, the understanding's still there. But if I turn around, and I use this example a lot with my students, if I'm teaching you hardcore, 2 plus 2 is 4. Literally hardcore, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2 is 4. And then someone says to you, what's 3 plus 1? Automatically, you turn around and think to yourself, I don't know what the answer is, because the numbers, the 2 doesn't match the 3, the 2 doesn't match the 1. That's the reason why. But if you understand the makeup of 2 plus 2, when someone says to you what 3 plus 1 is, then you understand that it's still 4. When someone says to you what's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, it's still 4, because you understand the makeup of the question. And that's what some of you aren't doing. You're studying mock test after mock test, doing questions after question. If you get a question wrong, the biggest one I've noticed as well, when you get a question wrong, all you do is look at what the correct answer is. Oh, I'll remember that for next time. But you didn't understand 2 things. One, why the answer is what it was. And the other one you don't look deep enough is, why did you get it wrong? That's the biggest thing that you guys overlook. You got the question wrong for a reason. Ask yourself why. And there's many reasons. Not understanding it, didn't read the question properly. Well, I had one on Friday in boot camp where someone got the question wrong and she just missed one word. She didn't see a particular word. It was just, and the simple word, it was all. She missed the all bit, and that's the answer she went for, but she didn't see the all in the answer, hence why she got the wrong question. And once we looked deep, she understood. If she saw the all, she would never have picked the answer. So that's what it is, about understanding. It's not just about getting the question wrong, see what the answer is, and then move on. Ask yourself why you got the question wrong is the key to learning on the apps. Got 46 over 50. I think I've done that one already, but yeah, I think that's the pass, obviously. Congratulations. You know those questions where they are like, what can you use when your brakes fail? Yes, it depends on the context of the question. I'm sorry, the context of the question and what answer they gave you. You can use engine braking. In the worst case, you can use the handbrake. But it's anything that's going to cause you to slow down is what you're looking for. So if the brakes have failed and they ask you what can you do, then like I said, it depends on what the answers are in those particular questions. But you're looking for anything that's going to help you slow down, which would be engine braking, or use the handbrake, because the handbrake's going to slow you down. That's the last emergency alternative. All right, let me start the mock test, and then I'll still go through this while we are doing the test. Samson, 46 out of 50, 60 out of 75 or has perception. I'm very new here, and this is my first time on your live. Thank you. First of all, thank you for coming to the live to let me know you passed. I appreciate that, because it's nice to know how you guys getting on, passing, failing, or whatever it is. Then I know I can alter the material for you guys collectively. And thanks for coming to the live for the first time. Welcome. Before you go off, let me know what your next steps are, whether it's going to be driving lessons or driving test, moving forwards. Right, so let me set this up. Share screen. Right, so for those of you that are new, what we do is read the question. The road outside this school is marked with yellow zigzag lines. What does these lines mean? If it's got an image, I would suggest, let me get this back to where it should be. If it's got an image, I would suggest always look at the image, because sometimes there's clues in the image, and then go to your options. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. So please put the question number. So if you think it's 1A, then put 1A. Because when we move forward, there's a delay between me and YouTube, you and YouTube. So I want to always make sure we're on the same question number and answer. So type it into the chat. I will still go through your comments as we are doing this. Gloria, welcome. 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 All right, you're doing driving lessons now and just keep coming back to keep up to date. I appreciate that. I really do. Nina, you got your driving test is tomorrow. Well, I wish you luck with that first and foremost. If you're still here, Nina, let me know which area, what test are you taking in. And if you've got any questions about your driving test, put it in the chat. Let me try to clear that up. So yeah, let me know what area you're taking your test in. And if you've got any questions about your driving test, any concerns, put it in the chat. Let me help you out where possible. I wish you luck with that tomorrow. Edinburgh. Hopefully it's warm up there. Right. DWD. In my last attempt, I scored 42, so got 8 questions wrong. There were some questions that required flagging, but I never flagged. Questions why? And confused myself. Lesson learned. As long as you're learning from the mistakes. From my feedback, I can still remember the wrong questions. I would debate whether you can remember the wrong answers though. But if you're saying that you can, I don't know you. Again, this is the WD's put a prime example here. There were questions that required flagging, but I never flagged the questions why. And that's again what I'm seeing from you guys or hearing from you guys. You don't flag on the real test. It's almost like, yeah, because you've studied at home, that you're going to have to answer all 50 questions. You can't flag. You should be doing exactly what you do at home. You should be training yourself to flag anything you're not sure of. So when you go for the real test, you just do what comes naturally. And then when you flag it, you go back after you've done the 50 questions and just answer the flagged ones. There's nothing wrong with flagged ones. Nothing wrong at all. That's the reason why they do it. Think about it. If they put it in a test for a reason, use it for the reason they meant it to be used. I need to know when to use dipped headlights and dipped lights. Believe it or not, but they're both the same. Or am I reading this wrong? I need to know when to use dipped headlights and dipped lights. Dipped headlights and dipped lights are the same. They're no different. Sometimes they drop the dipped and just use the word headlight. Still the same. Dipped headlights, dipped lights, headlights are the same thing. They just word it differently. Hence why I say understand the question, understand the answer. So at least now you know that dipped headlights, dipped lights, headlights are the same thing. No different. Another little tip for you. When it's a bog standard light question, the answer is always going to be dipped headlights or dipped lights or headlights, which is the same thing. So I'll give an example of a bog standard light question. You're driving down a well-lit motorway at night. I'll repeat the question. You're driving down a well-lit motorway at night. Which light should you use? Dipped headlights, dip lights, or headlights? Same thing. Now, if you break it down, if you can stay calm enough on your tests, don't stress out. And if they want any other lights than dipped headlights, it's going to be in the question. So, example, you've parked on a road of 13 miles an hour more, which light should you use? You're parked, so it's going to be parking lights. You're driving in fog, which light should you use? It's going to be fog lights. So the answers in the question, you'd have to be calm enough to break it down. So hopefully that helps you out. But bog standard light question. Oh, so it's theory test. Well, good luck with the theory test tomorrow anyway, either way. So yeah, if it's a bog standard light question, it's dip lights as the answer. There's nothing to think about. 5766. I'm assuming that's 50. I'm assuming you mean 47. It's got to be a mistime because you can't get 57 on the multiple choice. But first and foremost, congratulations on passing. Secondly, thanks for the kind words. And thirdly, what's your next step? Oh, you have not started your driving practice, so that's going to be next for your driving practice. Okay, well, I wish you luck with the driving and keep in touch. Let me know how you keep getting on with the driving side of things. All right, let me get the answers up in a bit and I'll come back to your comments. Wow, there's 107 of you here and it's not even half an hour. I appreciate you guys giving up your Sundays, trust me on that. But 107 of you, it's brilliant. Hence why there's so many comments. D1, I accept that. This is the first question of my theory test last week. That's the way it works out. Please put the number, because on the first one I know what one you meant, but once we get to number 2, your comment or answer won't be shown. Again, please put the question number. Marissa, welcome to you. How are you? No triangles are warnings. Right, Happy Show TV, welcome. My test is tomorrow. Someone's gone for a C. Right. School signs, the road outside the school. You should not wait or park your vehicle here. It's correct. Why is it important to wear suitable shoes when you're driving? I've not seen that question for a long time. Congratulations on passing last month. Appreciate that. Doing driving lessons. Hopefully they are going well. And you're booking your test real soon. No problem. That's what the videos are for, to help you guys pass. I appreciate you coming back and mentioning that. Thank you for coming here and saying that. Test is next month on the 31st. No, I'm reading that wrong. It's 31st, so it's this month. Which is next week, Monday, I believe. Yep, I wish you luck with that. You've got another live at least. So come back next week. Again, while you're studying during the week, let me know any questions, any doubts, any concerns, especially because it's next Monday. So the live before your test. Just clear up any issues whatsoever. I failed 32 out of 50, hazard 46 out of 75. Well, first and foremost, let me break the hazards down. You just passed the hazard perception, so that needs to work because you need 44. 2 is too close. So that definitely needs work. I would suggest looking at the paperwork on that and see how many 0s and 1s and 2s. You may just got lots of low scores on that. Yeah, I would break it down, see how many low scores you got, because obviously if it's low, you're seeing the hazard late and there's got to be a reason why. So that needs work. 32 out of 50, I'll be honest with you, that's just a lack of understanding. There's no way you should be getting 32 out of 50 if you're going for a real test. So that just shows a lack of understanding. That's back to the drawing board. I know it's not what you want to hear, but you've got to be realistic. What you want to do is go back to starting to study the categories. Normally, I would say look at the sheet, the categories you got the questions wrong in, but 32 is way too many questions. That's 18 out of 50 wrong. So I would go back to the drawing board, study each category in turn to bring up your knowledge. And then I will start doing mock tests, and you should be passing more mock tests than not before you book another one. But at least you've got this experience and the data. That's what failing is. If you fail, it's data. It gives you the chance to improve the second time round. So at least you've got the experience of a first test and the data from the first test. You just need to put that data into action. And that's what I would do if I was you. But as I said, you got to do you. Memories TV, welcome to you. Morning to you. Pandy, welcome. You passed on Tuesday. Congratulations on passing. No problem. Let me know what your next steps are if you're still here, Pandy. Long weekend. Hopefully you can get a lie-in. Well, I'll say a lie-in. Maybe you can go back to bed after this. You've got nothing too much going on. Louisa, 48 out of 50 is a high score, 59.75. Well done to you. Scored a 10 in my double hazard perception. So well done. Thank you for coming back and letting me know how you got on. Right, let me get the other scores. Brazilian student. Hopefully that goes well, because obviously English is not your first language, but hopefully that goes well for you tomorrow. Please come back next week and let me know how you got on. Portia, how are you? So I'm just trying to find the twos now. I think this is the first one. 2B, 2D. So there's a it's like B is the obvious choice. I got a C. Please put the question number moving forwards. Right. B is the common answer. So I've got to say, this is my last live. Why is it your last live, Denise? Right. There's A, B's, and C's. The common answer was B. Why is it important to wear a super to maintain control of the car? To allow, as someone went for A, to allow you to walk for assistance if you break down. Right, let's and C, to prevent wear on the pedals. Right, the theory test, as I said, is about safety and control. And the theory test is black and white. They're never going to put you in a situation where it's unsafe or whatever. So they don't, unless it's a question based on breakdown, they're never going to say to you that your car's going to break down. They're assuming that your car's going to be safe and reliable. And to prevent wear on the pedals, you're always going to get wear on the pedals regardless of what shoes you wear, because it's just wear and tear life. It's to maintain control of the pedals, i.e. you shouldn't wear sandals technically or high heels, because it doesn't give you total control of the car. That's the reason why it's that. What does it mean if this light comes on while you're driving? For those of you taking driving lessons, you should recognize this light. If I pass my second test. Yeah, this is what I just said. The app is sampled questions. The real test is going to be different, different questions. But obviously, if you passed it, it means you had some understanding there for that to happen. So congratulations with that. And that's why I keep saying, like a parrot, understand the questions, understand the answers. Olu, first of all, thank you for coming and let me know that you've passed, and congratulations on passing to you. Appreciate that. Pandy's got 47 out of 50, 50 out of 75. Thanks for the explanation. Has perception, no problem. I'm glad it helped. Yeah, that's what you should do. Review your flagged questions, not all 50 questions, but review your flagged ones. Obviously, it's paid off. I don't speak English, which works for you, which is fine. Keep it simple. That's why I like to do my videos, and keep it very, very simple, because not everyone speaks English. I don't even speak English properly. So well done to you in passing, and English not being your first language, Christina. It's your first time here, Christina. Welcome. Hopefully you come back for more. I don't have my theory test this Friday. I'm feeling confident, but I like to boost my chance of passing. How can I join your course? The boot camp course, if your test is on Friday, it's too late. The closing time on a Friday, the closing time for a course on a Monday is Friday at 3 o'clock, I believe. So you join the boot camp can't be done, and your test is on Friday. But for anyone that wants to join the boot camp, is just go to the website www.drivingtheoryuk.com. There's a QR code on here. When I go to certain scenes as well, you can scan the QR code. But it's too late for you. Your test on Friday, and the next boot camp starts Monday. The boot camp starts every Monday, but it's too late for you. But I wish you luck with that. Come back next week and let me know how you got on. That I just explained with the dip lights. Headlights and dip lights, like I said, they're the same thing. Rear fog lights. I'm thinking rear fog lights. Again, fog lights are using fog, or when visibility is less than 100 meters, fog lights, and that's what you meant. But I have got a video on the channel about lights, literally about lights, breaks it down in very simple details. First attempt, thanks. How to start my driving. How can I start my driving practice with you? If possible, you are the best. No, that's not possible. First and foremost, I do intensive courses and I'm fully booked up. I don't do driving lessons as in an hour or 2 hours. I do intensive courses over a week, over 5 days. So that's not possible with me. And let's find out what we are on. Free. Looks like the first one. Again, some of you are not putting the question number. You have to put the number of the question and then the letter. That way I know we're on the same. But I'm still getting ones coming through in between the threes. So that way I know we're all on the same page. And D seems the common answer. This question is also on my test. What was it? D. Fault in the braking system. This is a handbrake light. For those of you not taking driving lessons yet, this is a handbrake light. If this light comes on or stays on when you're driving and the handbrake is off, you're looking for a braking fault. And because it's a handbrake light, braking fault, there's a connection, there's a link. And that's how you can break it down. Well, this is new. I've not seen this one before. This is similar to what we spoke about, for those of you that was here last week, ADAS, driving assisted questions now coming up. So you're driving along a dual carriageway. This symbol is displayed on your dashboard. Which advanced driving assistance system turned on? ADAS. Like I said, these new questions are popping up. So I've not seen this before, so I'm going to work it out while you guys are putting your answers in as well. Right, I've got my answer. Got your test tomorrow. I wish you luck with that tomorrow. Please come back next week. Let us know how you got on. Patience. First, welcome. I've not seen your name before, so welcome to you. Congratulations on passing. Thank you for recommending the channel. I appreciate the shares from you guys as well. The channel has grown massively over the last, well, since I've started, but you guys are sharing it like crazy, so I appreciate that as well. And congratulations. Let me know what your next step is, Patience. Are you going to take driving lessons or driving test? Tested on the 2nd of April. Nerves is a good thing, but just don't let the nerves control you. I always get worried when my people say they're not nervous. You should be nervous. The adrenaline keeps you focused, but just don't let the nerves get the better of you where you can't think straight. But I wish you luck with that. The boot camp is, how much does it cost? Is £97. What you get for the £97 is 5 days training, Monday to Friday, 4:30 to 6:30. If you can't make it, you get a live recording, access to the live recording within 24 hours. I'll upload it to the training platform. You also have 28 days access to extra training, where to extra questions, extra videos. Like someone's asking about the lights, dip lights. There's videos on that channel about the lights, the motorway studs. Yeah, so you've got 28 days access to extra training other than the boot camp. And obviously you got 28 days access to ask me any questions via email. So there's extra training sessions. It's not just the boot camp you're paying for, basically. You're paying for a month's worth of training. Congratulations on passing. I'm still looking for the 4s while we're going through. There we go. First one, 4A. Diana, welcome to you. How are you? Someone's gone for a D on this. Let me just pull that back. Someone's gone for a D. Right. Last week and obviously today so far, the driving assistance questions are coming up. But what I've noticed, they aren't difficult to answer. Someone's gone for a D. But if you are using the apps get updated straight away. So if you are using that, that's the website. Or like I said, when there's a certain scene that's on here, it's got a QR code. You can scan it with your phone. It takes you straight through to the booking page, or go to the website www.drivingferryuk.com. All for me. I don't know who All for Me is, what name they use, but they got the boot camp is worth it. I'm assuming they went through the boot camp, but I don't know. Make yourself clear. Who's All for Me, so I know who you are. I always try to join, but never got. I'm assuming that's meant through. I text you and not back. First of all, Dennis, if you're trying and you're not getting through, there's an issue on your side. That's for sure. And if I'm not getting back to you, that's all right. This is right. Let me deal with this first. Hold on one sec. Right, this is common. A lot of people are texting me, WhatsApping me, emailing me, phoning me. For you guys, it's one phone call, one text. So you guys in your head, you're thinking, well, Dora's not getting back to me. For me, it's about 20, 30 WhatsApp messages, 20, 30 texts a day we're talking about, 20, 30 emails, 20, 30 phone calls. I'm still a driving instructor, so I work during the daytime to do driving lessons with my students. I do not answer phones, text messages, WhatsApps for my lessons. The student pays for my time. They get 100% of my time. So my phone is in my bag on my back seat. Don't touch it. When I finish, I want a break, first and foremost. I've also got to get home because I work in North London now because I'm running the North London branch again. And then I've got to get back to Luton. And when I get back to Luton, I want to chill out for a bit. And then I've got to jump on the boot camp for 2 hours, which finishes at 6:30. When I finish at 6:30, I'm finished for the day. So if I don't get back to you, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's because there's so many calls. Now, if you imagine on a Monday morning or Monday afternoon, there's 30 emails, 30 texts, blah, blah, blah. And I don't get back to everybody. I do try to get back to some people. And then on Tuesday, it's the same again, Wednesday. So it's getting further and further down the line. You will get contacted by me. It's just a case of when. That's the reason why. It's not I'm ignoring you. It's because there is so many emails, and I like to do it personally. When you join the boot camp, you get dealt with by the team. They will deal with all the issues. Any issues they can't deal with, they come back to me. Any text messages, emails, I like to do that personally because obviously I can answer your queries a lot more. That's the reason why. So Denise, if I haven't got back to you, my advice is keep trying first and foremost, but it's not personal. Don't take it personal with that. Sorry, guys. Just want to make that clear. Because like I said, for you guys, it's just one email, one text, one phone call. And you're thinking, well, why is he not getting back? But for me, it's 30 odds per day. And like I said, I'm not sitting at home doing nothing. I actually work. It's in the description. By the way, it's in the description of this live. So if you've obviously used a link to join the live, it's actually in the description as well. So this is a new question. Yes, they updated the theory test about 3-4 weeks ago when I got the email to say that. But like I said, if you're using the apps, it is the app's updated automatically. So you've got nothing to worry about. But if you're reading books, then obviously, yeah, you got an issue. It's lane assisted. The reason why it's lane assisted because it's got lanes. Like I said, if you look at the image, sometimes there's clues. You got your lane to the left and you got a lane to the right. So the car staying in between. So it's lane assist or lane keep assist. With that's the reason why it's that answer. Someone went for D. Before I go for the blind spot assist, it's not going to be blind spot assist on this because, like I said, it's lanes. There's never going to be blind spot assist on that one. You're on a motorway. What does it mean when a mandatory speed limit is displayed above the hard shoulder? You got to give me a bit more context. What do you mean by tips for driving lessons? Driving lessons is a massive topic. You got to ask me, give me a bit more context on what I'm answering. How to book them, what to do on the first lesson. Give me a bit more information and tips for driving lesson. As I said, the link is in the description. There's a link when I change scenes, a QR code in the top right-hand corner, I believe, as well. Again, everyone's, it's in the description. There's a link, there's a QR code in the top right when I change scenes. No, I can't. I'm going to tell you why. The pupil I had on last week, she went to do more lessons to keep up the practice. I can't do lessons because obviously I live in Luton. I don't work at the weekends either. I do other stuff. And she was looking for an instructor. She asked me to recommend. I reached out to a few instructors that I knew and they're all busy. So the ones that I know of fully booked up at this point in time. So I can't refer you to an instructor in North London at this point in time because they're just snowed under. And I will suggest if you are looking to drive for the summer or take lessons for the summer, I will try to lock in an instructor now because it's that time of year where it's going to get busy for instructors because we get busy after the summer because everyone wants to drive for the summer before they go back to college, uni, whatever. So if you are looking to take lessons in the summer, don't wait till the summer. Try to lock in an instructor now and reserve the time and date. Is what I would suggest with that. Where in North End? So where in North need to catch you? What do you mean, North London? Is that what you mean by where you need to catch me? Just let me know if that's what you meant. Right, Mickey just popped in to say massive thank you for all your videos. Appreciate that. My test was on Monday, got 49. Mr. Magical 50 by 1. 71 out of 75. Wow. Well done to you on that. Got 10 on your double. 5 points for 9. Congratulations, that's a massive score. And thank you for coming and let me know how you got on. What's your next steps? All for me. Reveal your name so I know who you are. If you're willing to do that, maybe you don't want to do it on YouTube. Mark, I appreciate that. I've got a couple of weeks for your test, so you've got a couple more Sundays. Right, A is the common answer. Hard shoulder can be used as a runner. Yeah, if it's got a 50 over the hard shoulder, you can use it. If it's an X over the hard shoulder, it means you can't use it. As you approach a pelican crossing, the lights change to green. What should you do for older? What should you do if older people are still crossing? That's worded differently. Okay. First and foremost, could you guys put a Q semicolon in if you're asking a question? Because this is like a comment. So I almost skipped over it. What's the meaning of a head shoulder in driving? Can you explain? No, I can't. I don't know what that means. What's the meaning of head shoulder in driving? Can you explain? I'm not going to even try to second guess that. If you can give me more context in terms of what's it related to, maybe, but I don't know. I'm not going to lie. Simple as that, I don't know. But if you give me more context, maybe I know what you mean. What are you exactly talking about? Cody pass, well done. 48 out of 50 minutes of 50 by 2, 66 out of 75. Another high score. Well done to you. Let me know what your next steps are. No problem. You're the one who went in and done the test and passed it, so I appreciate that. I want to know about the hard shoulder and head shoulder. You need to make your question. First of all, you're not asking a question, you're just making statements. Like I said, please put a Q semicolon in front so I know it's a question. And the hard shoulder is for emergencies only. I have no idea what head shoulder is. But hard shoulders for emergencies only. Palmer, I'm in Palmer's Green. We close our offices now, so we don't do the classroom training anymore. So all our offices are gone online. Simply me I'm talking to. So that's why we do the theory online. But because I do the theory for the company, because of what I do with YouTube, I can bring my pupils now from the YouTube into the same training as the guys from the company that I work for. So I meet my students in sorry. I meet my students in Morrison's car park, if you know it, in Palmer's Green. That's where I meet my students, and we drive around Tottenham because that's the test centre we use. Tottenham Wood Green, because I get to use both test centres for their driving test. C, there's a couple of D's on there, but there's the common answer is C. Let's take a look what C is. Yeah, wait patiently. Go back to what I'm saying about the ferry test. It's always going to lead to safety. Someone went for D, rev your engine to make them hurry. revving the engine's intimidation. You're not, if you did that on your driving test, you're going to fail all day long. The safest option out of all of them is wait patiently while they cross. If anyone crossing the road, you've got to wait patiently, not because they're elderly or older. Why do motorcyclists often look round over their right shoulder just before turning right? Right, Mickey's saying, you were right about the hazards. In the main test, it is much slower than the apps. So I had it really easy, and I cannot recommend the double clicks enough. Best tip ever. That's the reason why I suggested it, because like I said, because it's slower, if you click too early, you're going to get a 0. That's why you need to go for 2 clicks per problem. In some cases, you may need to go for 3. It's about getting a score, which you can hear me say later on. And that's from the feedback, because I don't get access to the real tests. I have no idea what the questions in the real test. It's just feedback I get from the students, which I put in the videos or say on the live. So those guys who go in there give me their feedback, and they've all told me it's a lot slower and obviously clearer, and it's a bigger screen because it's all CGIs when you guys go in there on the test itself. Sancho, sorry, good morning. Yeah, but they're putting hard shoulder twice. It's hard shoulder and head shoulder, which is your hard shoulder is only going to be one time. There's no difference between, it's only one hard shoulder. There's no other type of hard shoulders, and hard shoulders just for emergencies only. So when they say head shoulder, I'm not sure if they're talking about something in differently. Yeah, I assume that too. But again, they're typing hard shoulder twice, and it's not a question. Like I said, it's not Q semicolon. So I'm not 100% what they're talking about. That's why I'm asking for more context. But the hard shoulder, there's only one thing to know about the hard shoulder: it's emergencies only. There's nothing else to worry about with the hard shoulder. Going with the driving test. Okay, brilliant. So it must mean you've got driving experience. Silent watcher for a 4 weeks, life out loud. I'm glad you broke your silence. I appreciate that. Really do. Okay, so yeah, I've answered it. Brilliant. Right, still trying to find the 7s. All right, here's the first one. All C's. Right, C, common answer. C, A, B, C, check for traffic in their blinds. Yeah, that's why they do it. What must you do when you're overtaking a car? What must you do when you're overtaking a car at night? Interesting question. I didn't see this one. Muzamil, hopefully I'm saying that right. Yasin, super chat. Thank you for the super chat first and foremost. 49, Mr. Magical 50 by 1. 68.75, really high score. Couldn't have done this without your videos. I plan to book driving lessons of any resources you're making for revision. First, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I just didn't see it. So first and foremost, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Resource videos, the same way you're watching me on YouTube, is the same thing I would suggest you do with your driving. This is for all of you. The reason being, because I'm a big fan of visualization. It helps massively with driving. Also with the theory test. So I would recommend, there's some channels that I would recommend. There's quite a few out there, but the ones I would recommend, the ones I send my pupils to, is Driving School TV, DGN, Clearview Driving School, and Conquer Driving School. Those guys have got different makes of videos on there. Turn left, turn right, stopping, moving off, breaks it down, give you a better understanding. I think Driving School TV at the moment, Francis, he's going around to all the driving centres in the country at the moment, doing driving test videos. But if you could scroll back in his catalogue, he's got videos that breaks down the left turns, right turns, moving off, stopping, steering, stuff like that. I think those guys make it fun, the way driving lessons should be. That's the reason why I recommend them. If you're on your driving lesson and the stories I hear is from some instructors where it's stressful, the instructors shout, scream, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, your driving lesson shouldn't be like that. You should be coming out of the car buzzing out of the car. And those guys, for me, make those videos fun. And that's the reason why I recommend those resources. I'll also add as well, I'm going to call you Yasin because I can't pronounce your first name. Again, for all of you, if you use Driving Test Success, the app that I recommend, it's got a driving school bit hub in there now, which you can unlock, and it's got videos on there. Again, that's why I recommend the app, because you use it after you pass the theory test. And it's only $4.99. So I'd recommend that as well. And there's some certain apps you can download as well if you're willing to go that extra mile with your studying and learning. And I use those apps in my car with my students. So there's stuff out there, yeah, but I would recommend the videos as your first port of call because it's free. There you go. Driving School TV, DGN, Clearview Driving School, and Conquer Driving School. There you go. So these guys are already tuned into it. Sorry, some of you skipped through. Let me go back. 8s. All right, here we go. It must have gone for A. So yeah, make sure you don't dazzle other road users. It's the key. Modern cars are often fitted with a variety of technologies called Advanced Driver Assistance System. That's the new questions by the ADAS. What is the main purpose of these systems? Again, I've not seen the question before, but I know what the purpose is. Oh, it's interesting. Whoa. Right. For me, I was torn between two answers on this one. But using my own logic, I've got my answer. So let's see if you guys have got it. What have we on number 9? How do I create a login so I can purchase the bootcamp? When you go onto the booking page, you got to do your email. And then once you pay for it, you create a password. And then once you pay for it, you're automatically in to start the studying process because it's got all the videos in there. So it's done from the sign up page. There's nothing extra you got to do. But make sure when you go to log in, you use the original password and the original email. So I'm just trying to find the 9s. Right, what have you gone for? That's interesting. You've gone for C. Yeah, it's new. Like I said, I've not seen that question before. These questions, I'm seeing the first time that you guys are seeing it. Oh, so now we got A's. Right, okay. That's what I was drawn between A and C. Right, let's break this down. Right, when like this, again, I'm using me as an example in this one, taking my own advice. I always say to you, read the question carefully. I have to read the question 2 or 3 times, by the way, before I answered it. And then I say always read the questions carefully, read the answers carefully. So I literally read the questions. These two makes no sense in terms of it. So it comes down to these two. And then it can make your driving, it does, the driving assisted, as the advanced driving assistance system, let's use a correct name, does make your driving life easier. But the theory test is about safe, and it's got safer in here. That's the reason why I went for C, using my own logic. If it's got safe, safety, safely in the answer, you have to shortlist as a possible. And that's why this one overrides this one, as far as I'm concerned. But yes, it does make your life easier. And there you go. So well done to you guys who got C. And like I said, as advice I give you when I see a question I've never seen before, I use my own advice. It's not something I just say lightly. I do use it in my own personal life. What does it mean if the signs at bus lane show no times of operation? Amarachi passed my theory test on. Let's go there. Am I missing something here? I passed my third test on Tuesday. Thank you so much for all you do. 43, just about done it though. I would definitely brush up on the 7 questions you got wrong, especially if it's road signs. But congratulations on passing though, and thank you for coming and let me know how you got on. Yeah, that's what I said. But it's breaking it down and go back to what I said. If you was here at the beginning with the theory test, black and white safety, that's what they're coming. That's what they want, and because it's got safer in the answer, that overrules the other one. If that answer wasn't there, then it would have been A. And this goes back to what I'm saying about understanding your stuff inside out. So when they word the question, bring up a question they've never seen before, because I've not seen that question before. I need to probably film that and put that into the boot camp, to be fair. Yep, D is the common answer. D, Valencia. Yeah, no times 24 hours a day, you cannot use it. Why should drivers be more careful on roads where trams also operate? So I'm just trying to find 11, so you guys are typing so quick. There we go. Maurice is the first one out. Yeah, as I said, they updated. I got the email about 4 weeks ago. Sometime in February, I got the email to say there's new questions. I've not had the time to go through, but again, I keep stressing that if you guys are using the apps, regardless of what app you're using, if it's paid and licensed, the questions get updated automatically, but they're not difficult to sort out. So I wouldn't go freaking out about them. But it's good because I'm seeing it for the first time. I've not done any videos in a while, so any mock test videos in a while, so I'm seeing it for the first time, just like you guys are. So you see me doing the math live while I'm doing this. With you guys, 11B is a common answer because trams cannot steer, so you've got to be careful. Why is it particularly important to check your vehicle before making a long motorway journey? Veritas says tomorrow I've completed all the questions. Pass on that one. Just because you've done all the questions and hazard videos, it doesn't mean, and passing mock tests, it doesn't mean to say you're going to pass the real test. I know it's not what you want to hear. The reason, and you're asking me, do I think you're going to pass? I can't answer because I don't know you. Whereas if you was in my class, I would be able to tell from your body language and the facial expressions. The reason why I'm saying that, because do you understand the questions and answers? Like I said, yes, you've studied all of them, but sometimes, not deliberately, I will add, that you guys put this to memory, so you're memorizing, and it's not deliberate, it's just subconsciously. So that's the reason why I can't answer that. If you're memorizing, then when the questions worded differently, or see questions that you never see, questions come that you never seen before, you may get it wrong. So that's the reason why I'm saying that. Should you pass if you've done all the questions and understand it? Yes. That's what I will say to that. But is your studying quality? Like I said, if you just memorized it, then the answer is probably going to be no. But if you've done the right thing and tried to understand it, yeah, you have a good chance of doing that. But you still got a good chance because you've done all the questions and all the videos. So you're on the right lines in that sense. It just depends whether studying's quality or not. But I wish you luck with it though. There is this question about roof rack. I really don't remember it, but I know it's something to do with roof rack. Can you talk on roof rack, please? Again, the roof rack questions are varied. What can it cause? The answer is going to be burn more fuel because you've got empty roof rack. What can a roof rack cause? It's going to make your car unstable, especially if it's unloaded with stuff. So it depends on the context, but the chances are it's going to be burn more fuel or make your car unstable in that situation. But again, if you can give me more context, but you said you don't remember, that's the two likely answers. 12. And D is common answer. So we have to assume someone's gone for an A. All right. Someone went for an A, but the common answer was D, wasn't it? D. Yes, continuous high speeds increase the risk of breakdown. Someone went for an A. You have to do more harsh braking on motorways. You're never going to put, once it's got harsh in the question, in the answer, it's wrong. Especially with braking. You never brake harshly on a motorway. You never brake harshly full stop for the theory test anyway. So it's never going to be that. It goes back to what I said before about safety. Harsh braking doesn't lead to safety. What might you expect to happen in this situation? Again, look at the image, there's clues there. So what might you expect to happen in this situation? Sanai. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Good morning. I passed 45, 65 my test. Your lessons were just really help. Thank you. Appreciate you coming to let me know. I've not seen your name before, so I'm assuming you're a silent watcher, first time here to the live, but welcome. And thank you for letting me know. All right, so you do understand them and always search what Vimino. Then you're laughing. Then I'm not saying you will pass though. You've got a good chance of passing now because you've said that you've researched the questions as well, which is what you should be doing. Again, some of you don't do that. Google search. If you don't understand it, put it into Google, put it into the AI and find out it's not cheating. So yeah, you're definitely along the right line. So yeah, you're good to go. So well done, putting the effort in. That's the most important thing. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you get your rewards out of that with a pass. Again, please let me know how you get on. 13. Better not. Yeah, just better not. You can send me an email if you want to put it in the email, but don't do it on here. I heard lots of rumors about Wood Green, but I'll be honest, Wood Green, when I first became a driving instructor, because I was born and raised in North London, Wood Green was my test center of choice, and it's had a bad reputation at the time. It always had a bad reputation, but it got cleaned up. I've not used it for a little while, but I don't listen to rumors on test centers. I just teach my people to drive safely. If they're good enough, they're going to pass, regardless of what the test center rumors are. But I like to keep up to date with stuff. So if you know something, please put it in the email and send it across to me. Appreciate that. How do you adjust headrest? I'm assuming that's while when driving. Are you asking in the driving test context, or are you asking for the theory test context? There's different ways, but it's eyes or ears in the middle of the headrest, or the headrest got to be level with it. I can't see the top of my head, but it's got to be, let me come out of this one. So the headrest has got to be level with the top of the head, or the ears and the eyes got to be in the middle of the headrest, would be the options they should give you on the real one. So hopefully that helps with that. And just in case you didn't know, the headrest is stopping you from getting whiplash. Is the other theory test question. There's certain things I won't tell my students about tests because, like I said, it's a mind thing. I teach my pupils to drive. They'll hear rumors anyway from friends, family members, or whatever. But like I said, I teach my pupils to drive safely. Regardless of who the examiner is, they're passing with that examiner. So I don't really go into rumors. I like to know for my personal use, but I don't pass it on to my pupils because pupils get into their own heads. Simple as that. But yeah, please put it in the email and the name if you want. I know some of the examiners from back in the day when I was there are still there. I still see, because we was down there on Thursday and Friday with my people from this week. I'm really struggling alone on the practical. I'm really struggling alone on the practical. That doesn't make sense to me. Sorry, am I just being stupid or something? It says I'm really struggling along the practical. Practical is a driving test. That's the way I see practical. Practical is the driving test. Theory test is something different, i.e. the theory. So do you mean you're still struggling with the theory test? If that is the case, the question's got to ask itself why. Like I said, you guys need to look deep. It's easy to say I'm struggling. The question is, why are you struggling? You need to look deeper. It's a mindset thing. So if you're talking about the theory test, then please ask yourself why. If you can translate that into words, type it into the chat and let me see if I can help you. But practical is driving test. And listen, for all of you as well, if you're struggling, failing, ask yourself, the question you got to ask yourself is why. It's very easy to say, I don't understand it. Ask yourself why you don't understand. Go deep. in terms of why you aren't getting it, why you are struggling with it, why you can't remember what the answer is. The comment answer is B, sorry. Traffic will move into the left-hand lane, right lane's closed off. Can't move to the right, no. Nope, yeah. I said there's clues in the answer, or the image. You're on the motorway. What should you do if there's a red cross showing on the signs above your lane only? See some again, practical. You guys got to make it clear to me what you're talking about. Practical is driving tests because it's practical. Theory test is theory. So what are you struggling with? I know this is a theory session, but I do help people with a driving test. So are you, again, talking about the theory test? If the question, if that's yes, what do you need help with? You can't just say, I really need help, because the theory test is in two parts. There's questions and has a perception. And then the questions are broken down in 14 categories. So you've got to give me a bit more help than that if you want help. You're welcome. Like I said, with what you've done, what you're saying, you're good. If you was my people, I'd be more than happy to say, yep, go and do that. And bring back the result. Theory test context. Right, yeah, like I said, what are you struggling with? Why do you feel like you're struggling on your own? You need to look deeper. I don't know you, so I can't answer the question online. You have to look deep. And if you can give me reasons, then I can give you solutions, probably. But just to say I'm struggling means nothing to me because I don't know you. So let me start this because you guys are putting lots of comments on here and I'm going to miss them. Right, here we go. The answer to here. Right, B is the common answer. B, do not continue. Yeah, don't continue. If it's X over your lane, you've got to change lanes when safe to do so. If it's X over every lane, then everybody comes to a stop. Your vehicle breaks down on the motorway and you need to call for help. Why might it be better to use an emergency roadside telephone rather than a mobile phone? I'm not sure if that's to me because you've got an at there. Okay, that's fine. I will pick that up Monday at some point, hopefully. Right, so this is what I'm talking about. Practical. Use the practical in the right sense. I've passed my theory test. Fine, sorted. I've not really mastered the area of routes, and my exam is at the corner. And my exam is, I'm assuming you mean around the corner. My instructor advice is I shifted. Right. There's a lot going on there. Right, let me break this down for you. You passed the theory test, so that's good. You're good to go. I've not really mastered the area of test routes, and my exam is around the corner. I'm assuming you mean around the corner as in coming up soon. And my instructor advice, I'll shift the date. Right, the question, see, this is what I mean about context. I get what you're saying, but you're saying your instructor, that's a different story now. Your instructor is a guide. So he's saying or she's saying you should shift the date. The question is, why are they saying you shift the date? Because there's only two reasons why. One, you're not ready for the test, full stop. Which, to be honest, if I'm the instructor and I'm saying shift the date, that's the only reason why. My instructor's advice is shift the date. That's the only reason why I would be saying to my people to shift the date. Because, again, your instructor should be teaching you to drive safely. It doesn't make a difference where the test center is. So whether you learn, because even if you took your area of test routes, there's no guarantee you're going to get that same test route on test day, because each test center has a lot more than 1, 5, 6, 7 routes. There's no guarantee. You should be learning to drive safely, full stop, so you can drive safely anywhere. It helps knowing the routes to calm your nerves down on the day. But I don't teach my pupils test routes. I teach them how to drive safely. We just happen to do it in a test area. That's a difference. But I would ask myself, because the instructor has to give you a reason why they're shifting the date. That's the only thing I would say. So if your instructor's asking you to shift, the question is, why are they asking you to shift? And if it's because you're not ready, then follow your instructor's advice. But if you want to put a bit more information on there, feel free to do that. And I can, again, right, you put in some more. I've done at least 20, means nothing. Just because you've done 20 lessons means nothing. Just because you've done 20, it doesn't mean to say you're ready for a driving test. All right, let me give you a question and then you can type it in. Are you driving on your own? And what I mean by that, you are going 20, 25 minutes driving with your instructor and your instructor says nothing. If you, other than turn left, turn right. If your instructor's got to say to you, check mirrors, slow down, which gear should you be in, blah, 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 you're not ready for a driving test because they're helping you drive. On the day of the driving test, you are getting no help whatsoever. So if you can say to me in the comments that my instructor's not saying nothing, I'm driving on my own, no S's, no D's, then you're good to go. But then again, I still got to question why the instructor's saying change it. And as for anyone taking lessons, sorry, I'm trying to find the 15s while I'm talking. If your instructor's bailing you out on your driving lessons, as in slow down, speed up, change lanes, whatever it happens to be like that, you're not ready for a driving test. You should be driving what we call independently, where the instructors give you no help whatsoever. Pointers and tips, yeah, now and again, because there's different ways of doing stuff. But if they're saying to you, do this, do that, then you're not ready for a driving test. And I know because you've got a test date, the waiting time's long, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, your instructor has a responsibility first and foremost. And what you guys don't realize, so the common answer is D. Yeah, it allows easy location. Mobiles don't give you locations. The SOS phones can track where you are. Every driving test is logged against your instructor's badge. If you go into your instructor's car, there's either a green badge, which means they're fully qualified, or a green badge, which means they're a trainee driving instructor. But every driving test is logged against your instructor. And if they get too many fails on their badge consistently, the examiner wants to sit into the back of their car to double check to make sure they're teaching in the right manner. Sorry, how can you reduce the risk of your vehicle being broken into at night? Is the question. Yeah, or if they get a serious fail. So let's just say they take someone to the test who shouldn't be there, and that person picked up, I don't know, 4 S's, a couple of D's. They're going to get written to by the DVSA. Why did you take that person to test? We want you to come in for a check test to sit into the back of the car. As much as we get check tested anyway, depending on what your grade is, if it's a decent grade, every 4 years, give or take. But I don't want to be check tested every 6 months because someone has messed up really, really badly. Yeah, so you got to take that into consideration. Every test is logged against your instructor's badge. So it's his responsibility to keep his job, basically. If he loses a badge, he can't teach. Sending that some love there. I love that. 16. Again, you guys talking to each other. Love that. Right, common answers A. Leave it in a well-lit area. Yep. So a thief breaks in, makes noise. They could be spotted from a distance. What's a statutory offer on notification known as SORN for short? All right, let me go through some of these comments. I struggle too. It's just one big worry and depressing. If you make it that way, again, I don't know your character. I get it. Why it could be worrying. I don't get why it's depressing. It's a test. It's just a test. Don't let it get to you. But again, it can be a worry if it means a lot to you, that you need it, work, family life, blah, blah, blah. But you've got to try to reduce the pressure with that. But don't let it depress you. That's one thing you don't want to be doing. That ain't going to help in the long run. Again, all right, so you guys are having a conversation and saying you get it, it's depressing as well. Right, a question I've got to ask again, why? Why is it depressing? Are you failing mock tests? Are you not getting it, not understanding it? Because those are common signs of why it's depressing. You're not making or you don't feel you're making progress when you're studying. Then the question's got to be, why are you not making progress when you're studying? Like I said, you guys got to look deeper. I struggle with continuous, right? So you struggle with continuous studying, then don't make it continuous. Break it down to smaller chunks. Just because you study for 2 hours, I'm not saying you are, by the way, this is for anyone. Just because you feel you need to studying 2 hours, 3 hours at a time is counterproductive sometimes. Just because you study for a long period, it doesn't mean to say you're learning for those long periods. So what you need to probably do is study for 15 minutes at a time. And maybe 15 minutes twice a day. It's going to take you longer to get to your goal, but at least you're going to get there without feeling depressed. But just because you're studying an hour at a time, an hour and a half at a time, it doesn't mean to say it's quality studying. When you study, it's got to be quality. So if you feel like it's a struggle continuous, then reduce the continuous out of it. Make it less. What I say to my students in the car when they're driving, less is more. The less you do, the more you achieve, believe it or not. The more you do, you achieve less. So that's one way of looking at it. I have 3 days left to my theory test and you're crying. I don't know why, Dan. If you've got 3, you can't even change it. If it's 3 days left, you can't change it. If you feel like you're not ready, that is. So I would crank it up if you've got 3 days left. And change those tears into a smiley face. He complains about my positioning at junctions and roundabouts and mirror checks. He complains about my position. I don't know why he's complaining. Maybe it's just the way you pull it down, but my positioning, junctions, roundabouts, and mirror checks, that's massive. If he's mentioning those things when you're driving, that's massive. Then you're not ready for a driving test. It's not what you want to hear. But if my students are doing this, positioning, meter from the curb, it should be junctions. I don't know what the problem with the junctions are, but junctions is in the top 5 reasons of failing a driving test. Roundabouts are junctions, if it's mini roundabouts, and mirror checks is massive. That has a perception right there. If you stick to we've only got about 3 questions left. If you stay around, I will show you the test report sheet, and those things that you're talking about there are on the test sheet, and they're in the top 5 reasons of failing a driving test. So there's your answer right there. 17. So I'm just trying to find the 17s now. Here we go. First one. Oops. Hello and welcome. Right, 17. C is a common answer. ABC, notification. Not being used on the road. In other words, not being taxed is the key word there. I think they'd use that one on the real test, not being taxed. What does it mean if your insurance policy has an excess of 500? Well, first of all, thank you for breaking the silence. Sorry to say that you failed it. Questions 46. I will still practice that because you still got 4 questions wrong because it's going to be different when you go again. And you said you know the reasons for it. It's 38 out of 75, which is obviously it has perception, and that's 6 short of the pass mark. So what you want to do with that is look at the breakdown of the hazard perceptions, how many zeros you got. You may not have got no zeros, but you just got lots of low scores, lots of 2s and lots of 3s, but you need to break it down why. So if you got lots of zeros, it means you don't know what hazard is. If you didn't get any zeros but lots of 2s, 1s, because your average is under 3, then it means you're clicking really late on the hazard perception. So you need to reanalyze that, even though you say you know what caused it, but look deep. But the questions, still study the questions. Don't think I've passed the questions, failed the hazard perception, let me just focus on hazard perception. Because when you go for the next test, it's a different set of 50 questions, and that's the reason why. But at least you've looked deep and you said you know the cause of it, which is really good. So I wish you luck on the next one around. Paul Sampson's working and loving that when you guys send that love to each other. Yeah, you can take your instructor. It's not my favorite thing because it's nerve-wracking sitting in the back as an instructor, to be fair. But if my people ask me to be there, I am there for them. I don't volunteer, but I will be honest with you. But if they ask me to be in the car with them, I will do what it takes to help them pass. That is a good point. Simply me made is if you do want your instructor to go with you on the car when they're dead, they can't say nothing, they can't do anything. But sometimes pupils do like the instructor to be there as a support system. And sometimes I know with my students, when they ask me to be there, they pretend it's me sitting next to them, not the total stranger, and it makes them feel a bit more calm, a bit more relaxed. So it's something to think about if you are going for your driving test. Common answer is A. You got to pay the first 500. What is it? Excess. Yeah, pay the first 500 because it's excess. Oh, what should you be aware of if you've just passed this sign? Always look at the image because there's a clue there, a massive clue. During my mock test, I always have over 60, 65. Again, well, that's nerves going in there and panicking, changing the way you click. That's why you need to practice. Practice makes you better, so you stay consistent. But obviously you've gone in there and either not seeing it, clicking late, or just not clicking enough, whatever it is that gave you that low score in the first place. But like I said, you've taken accountability, you know what's caused the problem. So that's half the battle. A lot of people come out and say, oh, well, I'll do it again, without realizing why they failed. So you've taken responsibility, which is nice. First of all, thank you for watching the channel. First time here live. Test is on the 11th, so it's about 2 weeks away, give or take. Maybe 3. I'm passing my mock test consistently. Personal best on 40 out of 50, 60 out, but I'm still studying. Awesome. 40 out of 50 on a regular basis. That's your personal best. 60 out of 75. Again, based on test, you are good to go. Just be aware that when you go for the real test, the questions are going to be worded slightly differently. But as long as you're passing consistently, that's the key, is passing consistently. So if you're taking 10 tests, you're passing 7 out of 10 as opposed to 4 out of 10. But it sounds like you're good to go. So keep studying like you are. and I wish you luck on it. Come back and let us know how you got on. So just trying to find 90. Oh, there's lots of 18s and 19s mixed up. Okay. So C is a common one. We'll see. All traffic going one. Yeah, one way sign. So you didn't fall for the head only sign. Last one. Why should you try and park in a secure car park? James coming through the back door. Late, but I appreciate you being here. How are you? On my app for the theory test, the hazard perception test was AI videos, and now it's changed to low quality dash cam, and I feel like I've gotten worse at hazard perception. Right, there's two things with that. What app are you using? Why 1 minute it's AI and then it's gone to dash cam? And secondly, if it's got worse, then admittedly, if it's got, I don't think it's dash cam, because if it is, then you're not using a registered app, if that makes sense, because the apps are all the same questions, or worded slightly differently, but they're generally the same, and the videos are generally the same. There's real life clips and there's CGI clips. If they're using dash cam, then it's not approved by the DVSA because they don't use dash cams. That's the first thing. But then if it's got worse, if the videos are hard to see, I get that. But technically, a hazard is a hazard, regardless of whether it's in good condition or bad condition. Because technically, if you're driving on a nice sunny day in real life, it's clear to see. But if it's pouring down with rain, you still need to see the hazard, if that makes sense what I'm trying to say. So just because it's got worse, you should still be able to see the hazard, unless the quality of the video is really, really bad. But I would ask myself, why has my app changed that drastically? And saying that sounds good. And we're on 20. Trying to find the 20s. And the common answer is B. All right, let's take a look at what B is. Yeah, secure car park. They've got to break into the car park to get the car, and then they've got to still get the car out of the car park if it's secured and locked up. Again, let me break it down for you. At the beginning, for those of you that was here at the beginning of the live, I said to you the theory test is made up of 14 categories, and the questions are drawn from those 14 categories. So I've got a 20 question mock test, and they give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 categories. I think that's the most we've done since the live started on a Sunday. So it's 9. So breakdown: vulnerable road users, 3 questions. Safety in your vehicle, 6. That's a lot. Motorway rules, 3. Vehicle handling, 1. Attitude, 1. Other types of vehicles, 1. Hazard awareness, 1. Road and traffic signs, 2. Documents, 2. So that's how it's broken down. So that's the reason why I suggest you understand each category in turn, because you don't know the makeup of how the questions are going to be. If you think about safety and your vehicle in a 20 question mock test, 6 questions. So if my knowledge was weak, that's a possible 6 questions wrong out of 50. I'm now on 44. I can't afford to make literally too many mistakes, because it's possible to click the wrong answer on a test. And if you're already borderline 43 and you click the wrong answer by mistake, you're now down to 42. But if your knowledge is strong, 46, you're on 50, click a couple wrong, you're still passing the test anyway. And that's the reason why I say understand the categories in turn individually. So let's take a look what you guys are saying. I can't wait to bring you good news. Hopefully it's good news. And like I said, I wish you luck with your test. No problem. You're welcome. Pass my test by watching your videos. Congratulations on passing. Veritest Pro, that was provided by my instructor. You need to talk to instructor. I use Veritest Pro. I haven't had a problem with that to see that, but then again, I don't really watch the videos on that. The pupils do, and I can log in to see how they're getting on with that. But is it your internet connection? Veritest Pro is a legit app because I use it, so I don't understand why they've gone to that. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but like I said, just double check with your instructors. So hopefully you have spoken to your instructor and they can reach out to the Veritest Pro people. But I use it. I don't have a problem. If I did, I wouldn't use it. But I know they don't use dash cam videos on there. So maybe it's an internet connection thing. Simply me wish you a good week. Yeah, it could just be an internet connection thing. But like I said, they don't use dash cams. They would use the real life clips. So maybe it's just a connection problem when you are logging on or something like that. Good luck Friday, Denise. All right, let me Happy Snow TV, I wish you luck tomorrow. Please come back and let us know how you got on. Portia, appreciate the kind words. Simply me saying don't give up if you do fail. Never give up, because if you give up, you ain't passing anyway. So keep going. Remember, if you fail, it's live data. And then use that data in the right manner to give you inspiration to go on again. Right, I'm going to do a demonstration of a hazard perception for those of you that struggle. No problem. First time here, welcome to you. I'm using the Veritest Pro on my PC and the official DVSL. In terms of what context, the same, like I said, the apps, all apps, just because it's the DVSA is the one who writes the questions, but just because it's their app, they're like the same guidelines as everybody else. The questions are worded differently on the real test because they're sampled. So I don't want to put it down. They are sampled questions. Let me come out of this one, makes life a lot easier. They're sampled questions. So when you go for the real test, they're going to be worded slightly differently. The reason why they don't release the official questions, because when they did back in the day, people just memorized the answers. So when they went for a driving test, they couldn't apply the theory knowledge on the test itself. So that's why they stopped it, because they want you to study and understand it, because you need it. So in terms of the real test, it is close, minus the exact wording of the questions, if that makes sense. I will do. I'll pick that up on Monday at some point. Right, so let me it's a comment about the driving, take an instructor on the test. All right, let me get my iPad out first and foremost. I don't think I've tested it, so I don't know if it's going to show up. Fingers crossed. And no luck. I've retrieved my cable. Right, so let me just put this comment back up quickly. Right, so you're saying how your instructor complains about my positioning at junctions and roundabouts and mirror checks. So position is massive because if your position is wrong, you're affecting everybody else. It doesn't lead to safety first and foremost. And like I said, junctions are in the top 5 reasons for failing, and the mirror checks is your hazard perception. So let's deal with that. Box 21. If you look at, let me put a mark in there so you can see what I'm talking about. Box 21. Observations: turning right, turning left, cutting corners. So if you're talking about, I don't know what you didn't put exactly what you talked about positioning, but positioning is turning right for junctions, turning left for junction, cutting corners for junctions. That's your box right there. And like I said, it's in the top 5 reasons for failing the driving test. And your mirror checks is your box 14, and put a mark in there so you can see what I'm talking about. And that's your hazard perception. And if you didn't know, your hazard perception is when you check your mirror. So when you see a problem, you need to be checking the mirror. So if it's going to call you to slow down or change direction, and before you signal on the driving test, that's when you want to check your mirrors. So you can see the mirrors is massive. But on the theory test, they just talk about changing direction, changing speed, because you can't see the signal within the car. So if your instructors mention it on a regular basis, i.e. your words complaining, that's the reason why he's saying put your test back, because you ain't going to pass with junctions, because you're going to be doing lots of junctions on your driving test. And if you're struggling already on your lessons, it doesn't improve on your driving test. In fact, your standard of driving drops by 5 to 10% on the day of a driving test because of nerves. It could be worse if you suffer from anxiety and you're a really nervous person. So hopefully that makes sense, and your instructor is doing the right thing based on what you're feeding back to me with that. Right, so go back to the hazard perception now. I will add as well box 17 for all of you. Again, put a mark in the box. That's your hazard perception, right? Sorry, hazard perception. That's your theory test right there. That's your 50 questions. Response to traffic lights, traffic signs, road markers, traffic lights, traffic controls, other road users. Because you need to know what the road signs mean, road markings means, and everything else. And just to add to that comment, sorry, there's another one. I can't get the comment back up for some reason. If you go to box 23, position normal driving, stay left when possible, meter from the curb. And if you're in lanes, you should be center of that particular lane. So box 23 can get marked if you're not driving in normal position, just driving normally. But you did put junctions on there. That's the reason why. But going back to box 14, that's your hazard perception right there. So when you see a problem that's going to call you to slow down or change direction, you should be checking the mirrors. In other words, on the videos, you should be clicking. And that's how that works. So let me just make sure you guys are not asking anything before I do hazard perception. Yeah, 100%. Again, visualization, and you're doing the right thing. So you're next to your mum. For those of you who take transport, London transport, I say London because I'm in London, any transport that you guys that live in, if you can, buses, go on top deck, sit at the front of the bus and pretend you're driving, and then visualize. If I'm driving now, traffic lights are turning red, check mirror. The bus is about to swerve past a parked car, check mirror. And that's how you can do it as well. Visualization is massive in terms of learning. So you're doing the right thing. You're right on the right path for that. Good doing driving lesson pass last Saturday. Congratulations on passing. And I appreciate you coming back and letting me know how you got on. I want to know, Millicent, I want to know how many clicks can I do on hazard perception. First of all, let me just say, I don't know. I'm not going to answer that because I don't know. Every video is different. There's not one standard set amount of clicks. And secondly, this is for everyone, not just Millicent, but because you asked the question, if you're going into a video clip to, and worrying about how many clicks you're allowed, that's the wrong mindset. You should never be worrying about how many clicks. If you click on things that exist, you're going to be fine. But if you're worrying about how many clicks you can do, that's the wrong mindset to have. That's not the way you drive. You don't leave your house thinking, well, I need to check my mirrors before every incident, blah, 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 whatever it is, or I may crash, for example. You should be just going out there to drive safely. and then you're going to get from A to B. When you're doing the videos, that's what you should be doing. Just watch the videos, click on things that exist, and everything else takes care of itself. But if you're going to go in there and thinking, well, hold a minute, I can only do 10 clicks, then that's a waste of brain power. Anyway, and plus, like I said, nobody knows how many clicks you're allowed on any particular video. Right, let me do a demonstration, and then hopefully that makes sense what I'm trying to say. Let's do a real life clip because someone's talking about poor quality. Let's just do this one. So, looking down the road, it says slow on the floor. So why does it say slow on the floor? So you're looking ahead. There's a car parked up on the left. I can't stay a meter from the curb if it's parked up. The bus is going to reduce my space. It's got 20 miles an hour. Why is it going to 20 miles an hour? Looking ahead. I've got a high-vis jacket in the distance. And I'm going to click again to make sure. Always make sure you get a score. That's what it's about. It's not necessarily about you seeing the hazard. It's about you getting a score. You can see the hazard all day long, but if it's a 0, it means nothing. So make sure you get points. Keep going because it could be your double hazard. There's a car parked up on the left. Again, I can't stay a meter from the curb, so I need to come to the right. Red traffic lights. I could click on that as well, to be fair, because I'm slowing down. Ooh, 9. Oh, it's a double. 9 out of 10. I just make sure I'm not cheating so you can see it. 9 out of 10. Always review it back because you can always improve. Just speed it up for the sake of the video. So there's my first click. So it said I could have clicked sooner. I don't see nothing I could have clicked on there. Yeah, the white car is what I clicked, so maybe I could have clicked a bit earlier. So let me just wind this back so you can understand why I clicked. I clicked for the white car. At this point, I'm a meter from the curb. For those of you taking driving lessons and that person that said about positioning, you're a meter from the curb. I can't be a meter if the white car's parked up on the left. So I'm checking my right door mirror as I move out. And I clicked again for the bus because it reduced my space. That's why I clicked. Again, in the distance, I saw a high vis, I think it was. There's my first click. And there's my second click for the high vis. And when as she comes out, I made sure I get a score. And that's the reason why. And for the person, it was Millicent that asked me about the clicks. I don't care about how many clicks. I'm just clicking to make sure I get a score. But I'm clicking on things that exist. That's the difference. If I'm going to be counting 10 clicks, 12 clicks, that's a waste of brain power. And like I said, it's a waste of time. But click on things that exist. That's going to cause you to slow down or change direction. Then the amount of clicks doesn't matter, if that makes sense. So hopefully that does make sense to you guys. Let me come out of this and see what you guys are saying. No problem. Yeah, you guys are talking about visualization, 100%. All right, let me do another one. There's no questions or comments about that 100%, but let me do another one, do a real life one. iPad. It's a real life CGI. Let's just do this, whatever this one is. Right, looking into the bends, there's a car parked up on the right. Look into the bends, see if any cars are coming down. Nothing coming down, so don't need to click. Look beyond the vans. Again, nothing coming down, don't need to click. Person walking on the side, but they're not near the edge. As far as I'm concerned, don't need to click. Cars parked up on the corner. Car's got a signal, so he's going to come round. And I'm going to click again to make sure I get a score. So that's the one that's caused me to slow down. That should be the one I get marked on. But keep going just in case it's your double. Again, look into the bend. There's nothing to click on. Car's coming towards me, but he's on his side of the road, on the white line. Person's crossed the road clearly, don't need to click. Again, there's nothing going on, don't need to click. Hence why I don't need to count my clicks. So only 4 for the one video. And again, showing that I'm not cheating, 4 out of 5. Again, always review, because there's always room for improvement. So the car's parked up on the left. And let me just rewind it back. Car's parked up. Should not park within 10 meters. Ferry test. Shouldn't be there, but he is. And this guy's got a signal on. So he's coming around the corner, which means he's going to be on my side of the road. That's why I've clicked. And that's the reason why I slowed down. And I went for another one just to make sure I get a score. It's about getting scores. Remember, they're not going to downgrade you. That third click is a 1. But this gave me the highest score. Because I could see the problem, but if I got a 0 seeing the problem, it means nothing. You have to get 5s, 4s, minimum 3s on your videos as you go through. So hopefully that
as you
makes sense
continue
to you
along
guys.
the road, be cautious of pedestrians and animals that may suddenly
There's no
appear from
comments
the
on there,
field
there's
on the
no
right.
questions on this. So I'm assuming you guys have fully understood that. So thank you for another enjoyable Sunday. I appreciate you guys being here. About that, because without you, there's no live. That's the most important thing. So wishing you guys who's got tests this week coming up, good luck with it. Remember, keep studying. Make sure you understand the questions and answers and take your time in the test. Read them, take your time. You've got 57 minutes on the questions. Don't rush it. Makes no sense to rush to fail. You might as well take your time to pass. And for those of you who've got tests coming up in the next few weeks, please come back next week with any questions that you've written down over the week you've been studying and let me help you. That's what I'm here for. But the most important thing, whatever you guys do today and the rest of the week, stay safe. And I shall see you guys next week. Take care.